Hello, I'm Caitlin Duke.
And I'm Pablo Diane from Liberty Publications, and welcome to another episode of Storm Chasers, where we sit down with Liberty Hurricanes to spotlight their amazing accomplishments.
In this episode, we're joined by Nick Schenkel, the Morning Call's Boys Basketball Ambassador of the Year, featured Dartmouth student athlete, multi-sport competitor, and someone who has made an impact on the school both on and off the field. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, we want to start off by asking you what some of your favorite memories were and what you're going to miss when you leave high school.
I mean, there's way too many to count. All 4 years at Liberty, it's been something different. It's been something special. And, when thinking about really what I'm going to miss most are the people. The people at Liberty are special. The teachers, the students, the faculty, everyone contributes to the school culture in their own way. And that's really something that I'm truly going to miss. I really view Liberty as a true pillar in our community. It's right smack dab in the middle of downtown Bethlehem. We got all these different neighborhoods around us. And you have kids from Hanover Township, kids from Pembroke, kids from the west side, kids from the south side, kids from the north side. All type of kids just coming together and really working with each other every day. Putting aside our differences and just, coming together and making, a community that's really special.
Yeah.
So when you reflect on your time at Liberty, what moments do you think stand out, maybe help shape you as a person?
So when I think of a moments like something that's super special to me was just playing football, especially like the Freedom Liberty football games. Not my first 3 years, but especially, this year, getting to beat them back-to-back weeks, first in the Week 10 game, and then beating them in the first round of playoffs. That was like a really special experience. And, when I think about football, I'm just really going to miss like running out to the bagpipes. And, I feel like that's sometimes like a small part of what we talk about on Friday night or Saturday afternoon or Thursday night. But, there's no other place like that in at least in PA and probably the United States where you get to run out and have a band like the Grenadier Band, which is, they say, second to none, and that's the truth. And we get to run out and have those bagpipes playing. And, when that first note starts playing and like it kind of like puts me in the mood and puts the other guys in the mood and get ready, and it's just like I'm getting like goosebumps now just thinking about it. And that's something that's really special, and I think that's something that has really just put into perspective like how much just going here and playing sports here and being able to do that, it really means a lot to me. And I think it means a lot to the community, and I think it means a lot to the other guys on the team and the band and stuff like that. And just coming together as one school, as one city, as one community.
Yeah. As you finish out your senior year, what advice would you give to underclassmen that are looking to be as successful as you?
I just say take everything in stride. Don't overwork yourself, but don't underwork yourself. There's so many opportunities for you to succeed at Liberty, and you really do get out what you put in. So find what you're passionate about, get involved, do that. But then at the same time, don't try to do too much, because then you get that problem where you're getting, overwhelmed, burnt out, and you really want to avoid that. So it's really important to find that balance and, just take everything one day at a time. Enjoy every single moment you have, because you only have 4 years here at Liberty. You only have 4 years in high school, and then you're going off to college, you're going off to work, you're going off to the military, you're going off to do whatever you're going to do. But you only have one short amount of time where you're here and have the ability to do everything that's presented to you. And so I just really say try to put as much into it as you possibly can, because you get what you put in to your high school experience.
You're a star both athletically and academically. You're ranked 21st out of 592 students. What influenced your determination and made you want to persevere through all the challenges?
Yeah, so everything I just think goes back to my parents and my family. From a young age, they always set a great expectation of, maybe you're not the best athlete, or maybe you're not the best student, but you have to always give 100% effort, and you have to put as much into something as possible. Mm-hmm. They never wanted me to half do something. They just always expected me to treat others with respect and to put in effort in the classroom. So, if I say I came home with a B and I had studied and tried and did my best, my mom wouldn't get mad at me. She'd be like, just learn from it and try again next time. But if I came home with a B and I had slacked off in class, I didn't do my homework, then she'd be disappointed and my parents would be disappointed. So I really appreciate, the way that they did that for me. And I think it really kind of instilled like a drive. So yeah, a lot of that just comes from my parents, and I really appreciate, like I think they did a great job raising me, and I just really appreciate everything they've done for me.
All right. So you talked about having that standard and just, trying to put your best in at all points. What was your biggest challenge and how did you get through it?
So I just say, getting burnout. I really had to find a balance of doing enough and working hard and doing everything, but then not doing too much and not overwhelming myself. And it was difficult. There were times when it does get overwhelming. I got a game on Friday. I have practice every day. I have this assignment due, this assignment due. I got 4 classes, and so yeah, it does get overwhelming. But it's really important, and I found it's really important for me just to take a deep breath, take a step back. Don't get overwhelmed. I actually like write stuff down. Like if I'm getting overwhelmed, like I'll write down what I need to do. And that just really like it all builds up in your head when you think like, oh, I got this. It builds up in your head. But then when you write it down, it's like, oh, all right, I only have to do that. And then it doesn't actually, it's not as bad as it seems, because I feel like we all kind of make everything worse than it needs to be in our heads. So just kind of physically writing it down and taking a step back has really helped me. And then on top of that, taking the time for myself, it's okay. I have to tell myself, I have to remind myself that it's okay for me to sit down and watch a show on my phone or listen to music or something after a long day and take the time, because I'll get to my schoolwork, but sometimes it's okay to like take a break and then get to it. Like you don't just need to get to it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep going. So I just found it's really important for me to sit back and take a second for myself, especially when things get overwhelming.
Very nice. How did the college selection process go? And like, what recruitment misunderstandings are there? And kind of like, what would you tell students that are trying to apply to an Ivy League school?
Yeah, so for my recruiting process, I kind of went in, and I think I did it in a bit of an unorthodox way, just because I was going for football. Like that was honestly the number one thing in my college selection process, was trying to play football. So that's how I kind of based my colleges. Like I didn't have like one set college in mind, like where I'd love to go. So I kind of I based it on what coaches were talking to me, where I was interested. So I was really between Ithaca College, which is Division III, and then Dartmouth came along, which is a Division I school, and I got a great opportunity to go play up there. But the biggest thing with the whole process is just like knowing what I'm worth, and then also tempering my expectations. Like, yeah, I'm a football player, but I'm not like the best football player in the world. So, everyone would love to go play at Penn State. Everyone would love to go play at Indiana and stuff like that. But, sometimes that's not realistic. And sometimes, you have to kind of shift back and just really take a hard look at yourself, especially athletically. Obviously try to play at the highest level, try to play at the level you want to play at. And it's possible for everyone to work hard and get to where you need to get to, but sometimes it was just important to remember, like, playing college sports at any level, JUCO, Division III, Division II, Division I, is an amazing accomplishment. So I think that's like the biggest advice I'd give to especially athletes coming up is, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you're playing Division I, Division II, Division III. You're playing a college sport, and that's more than 99% of people can say. And I think that's something that unfortunately kind of gets lost in today's world, especially with like social media, academically, and you mentioned like people striving to get into the Ivy League and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of like students that are looking to achieve those great things in academics as well.
Yeah, so again, I kind of talked about with balance. Like you have to balance your social life and your academic life and your athletic life. But the biggest thing too is just be yourself. I mean, like, don't try to be someone you're not, because a lot of these schools, like, they get people who are, like, everyone you're applying is going to have good grades. So one, you have to make sure you have good grades, or you make sure you're staying on top of your thing in the classroom, no matter what college you're applying to. And the other thing is just be genuine. Be genuine to yourself. I mean, colleges want you. You know what I mean? Like, they want you to be there when you're applying. They want what you bring to the table. And, you know, whether it's academics or athletics or just who you are, just be true to yourself, and, you know, don't try to change anything about you, because you'll find the right place and you'll find the right home. And it's as much of a two-way thing as it is like where you want to find and what they want in a student. But it's also your home for 4 years or going for however long. So you have to be comfortable with where you're going. And again, just be true to yourself.
You mentioned playing Division I football at an Ivy League college. Looking at your high school career, being a football captain, playing on the basketball team, what did that leadership look like for you, and what impact do you hope it left on your teammates?
Yeah, so, you know, I think being named the captain of the football team is probably the thing I'm most proud of in my entire athletic career here at Liberty. You know, it was a great opportunity, and I think, like, you know, being a captain, it's not just like being the rah-rah speech leader. It's about like the little things, and, you know, it's really about learning each and every one of your teammates' ticks, like what makes them different, because everyone's different on a team, in a sport, like in real life. You know, I think what's great about athletics is that there are a really good like microcosm of everyday life. You know, we have people coming in with all types of different, you know, things that going on at home, things going on at school, things going on with their girlfriend. You know, it's just really important to kind of know what your teammates like and what they don't like, and just kind of working with them, because it's not being a leader is not just like being one guy and everyone follows you. It's like just being part of something bigger. And I think that's just the biggest thing, is just treating everyone with respect, and treating everyone the way I wanted to be treated. And it was just, you know, it was great to spend every day with those guys, and that's something I'm really going to miss. I'm excited to do it up at Dartmouth when I'm playing up there, because I'll hopefully have the same type of experience, and I think very similar players up there as there are down here. But yeah, it's just, you know, it is something special, especially athletics, football and basketball, and now track too. Like, you know, everyone's different, and that's why I love it so much, because, you know, I really learn so much from my teammates and so much from the people around me, and it's something that I really will like hold with me, is just the lessons you learn from talking to these guys and learning about them and spending time with them, and it's really like a genuine bond and a brotherhood with those guys in the football and basketball team and track, and it's just something really special.
Yeah, and you talked about Dartmouth and how you really want to have that same bond. So what are you most excited for this next chapter in your life? Like, really, what are you excited about and like eager to get to when you're at Dartmouth?
Yeah, so first, just kind of talking about the school. So it's an Ivy League school, and I feel like a lot of times Ivy League schools have that kind of stigma about them, like they're the snobbish, stuck-up school, and I think that's definitely true for some of the schools. But, you know, that was something that I felt when I was when I went up to visit, was like kind of lacking, which was awesome. Like, I went up there and everyone was super kind, super welcoming. Everyone I've talked to since going up there and committing there has just raved about it and raved about the community and the culture. And I think, you know, that's something that's really special about Dartmouth is, yeah, it's prestigious or whatever you want to say about it, but it also, like, it genuinely is a welcoming community. I'm really excited to get up there and join that community and be a part of it. And I'm just, you know, excited to experience that. And then on the football aspect, their football team, they're a successful program. They actually have the most Ivy League championships, like, even though it's kind of split, but they have the most Ivy League championships out of any football team. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely a standard that's been set there that I'm really excited to be a part of, learn from some truly great coaches. My offensive line coach, Coach Clark, he was actually named the FCS position coach of the year. So it's going to be super awesome getting to work with him, getting to be mentored by one of the greats. And then Coach McCorkle, who's the head football coach up at Dartmouth, is, you know, he's wonderful. He really sets the bar high, and, you know, I'm just really excited to be a part of that culture. I've already gotten to talk to some of the other guys from my class. We have like weekly Zoom calls with my offensive line coach where we're already talking about scheme and talking about expectations and stuff like that. So it's just been really great to see that, and I'm just like really excited to get up there and work with those guys and be a part of that culture.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nick, for spending time and being able to answer our questions. All right, well, that concludes today's Storm Chasers episode. I'm Paula Diane.
And I'm Caitlin Duke from Liberty Publications. Remember to keep your eyes peeled for the next hurricane on the horizon.